Hey y'all, welcome back to Memaw's house, where we're eating good food, sharing good times, and we hope you enjoy your stay. Let's get to cooking. Hey y'all, welcome back to Memaw's house. I'm in the kitchen today and I'm going to make a Valentine treat just for me and the family. A little heart-shaped cake. I'm going to make an orange cranberry pound cake because we like the flavors of orange and cranberry. So there you have it. I have the ingredients. I'm gonna get my apron on and let's get to cooking. Here are the ingredients that we'll be using to make our pound cake today. 1.5 cups of butter, or 3 sticks, softened, 2 3/4 cup of sugar, 6 large eggs at room temperature, 2.5 teaspoons grated orange zest, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon salt, a cup of sour cream, and 1.5 cups of fresh or frozen cranberries. And of course, we'll start our batter by mixing our sugar and our butter together until nice and creamy. Now we'll get these into our mixing bowl and start our mixer at a slow speed. We'll eventually add a little bit of speed to that so that it be at a medium speed while it adds air into the butter and the sugar. In the meanwhile, let's go ahead and pull our dry ingredients and get them mixed together. Now you all will notice that I did not put this in my handy dandy sifter because today I'm going to go ahead and mix this and incorporate some air and break up any lumps with a whisk, just a plain wire whisk. So let's get that all knocked out and then we'll get with the other ingredients. Now it's time to get our wet ingredients put together. We have our sour cream, and we're going to leave that just is, but we'll add our flavorings to the sour cream and to the butter and sugar. In the meanwhile, you know what I have to do. I got to crack these eggs one at a time, and I'm doing this into a measuring cup, a 3-cup measuring cup, so that it will be easier to pour the eggs one at a time. You know, I try one at a time, but sometimes 2 might pop into the butter and sugar mixture. So let's get the eggs cracked, and then we'll get them into our butter and our creamed butter and sugar. Okay, let's get them in. And see, there they go, trying to go in as pairs again. So let's regroup and get our eggs put into our butter and sugar the way they're supposed to go into the butter and sugar. I don't think it matters one way or the other, but I just wanted to make a note that as soon as I said that about those eggs, they went in there 2 at a time. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to add my vanilla into this creamed mixture, and then we'll add our other flavorings, our orange flavoring, to the sour cream. And of course, don't forget to scrape down your bowl. We want all those ingredients from the top of the bowl to the bottom of the bowl to be incorporated. Now let's go ahead and get our sour cream together so that we can alternate our sour cream with our flour. But in the meanwhile, we're going to mix the zest of the orange and the orange juice. I got the juice of one orange and the zest of that orange. The original recipe called for just the orange zest, but I didn't think that was going to give it enough orange flavor to work with those cranberries. So that's why I wanted to incorporate the orange juice, and I hope that that gives it enough orange flavor. So now that everything's being mixed, let's go ahead and get our orange juice and zest mixed in a little bit with our sour cream, and then we can start to alternate the sour cream mixture with the dry mixture. And of course, we'll always start with the dry ingredients first, and we'll end with the dry ingredients. Now, I added a little bit of flour initially, but now I want to go ahead and coat these cranberries with the flour so that I can make sure that those cranberries will float in my batter and not all go to the bottom. So I'm going to coat these, get another dollop of sour cream in there, and then add my flour with my cranberries in it. And then we'll go ahead and add another dollop of sour cream, and then the last little bit of our flour. So let me get some flour and sour cream putting in music on, and we'll keep moving. Okay, y'all, that's all well mixed. Let's go ahead and do the last little bit by hand, and then we'll get that in our prepared pan. Now my bowl is on my mixer a little bit too tight. You know who I think did that? Peepaw. So, it is what it is. But we got it off. So there it is. Now it's time to go ahead and put our batter with the last mixture into our pan. Now, I like the shape of this pan, and I think it is entirely appropriate for Valentine's Day. But if I'm going to be terribly honest with you, I think that it is too small a pan for any regular size pound cake, and it does not cut well once the cake is done. It doesn't seem to cut a good slice of cake. And you'll see it at the end when I do my final cut. But the pan is beautiful, and I'm thankful for it. I just don't particularly like it for a traditional pound cake. So maybe I'll make another cake in it and see if it will work better than my pound cakes have been recently. And you see that it is a smaller pan, so I have a lot of cake still left over, cake mixture still left over. So I'm going to have to put that into a loaf pan so that I can get that all cooked up, but we'll eat it all up, whether it's in 2 cakes or 1, we'll eat it all. This is going to go into a 350-degree oven for 60 to 70 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Oh, and I did put the loaf pan in, but the loaf pan only took about 35 minutes to cook. And then the other 25 minutes or so, this pan took to actually bake that size of a cake. Now we'll let this cool for a half hour or so, and then we'll get it plated so that we can put a glaze on it and cut it and devour it. While I get my cake ready to come out of the pan, I just wanted to make a note that you probably see my bucatini boiling over there on the stove, because this night we are having guests for dinner. We're going to have my niece Erin. She's coming over for dinner. She loves the kids, and the kids absolutely adore her. And we just wanted to share this Valentine love with our niece and let her know that we really do adore her. So, Erin, if you're watching, we love you. And thank you for all that you do for us and the kids. Now, this cake did not call for a glaze, the recipe, but I thought that I'd make a little bit of cranberry juice with those leftover cranberries and mix a little bit of powdered sugar in it and get a glaze. I don't know that it is the glaze that I wanted, but it tasted delicious on there. So I'll leave the ingredient list down in the description box, and you can do with it what you wish. So my fork wasn't getting the lumps out of the powdered sugar like I wanted it to. And Ari gave me this cute little mixer for Christmas. Something she got from the Target dollar spot or somewhere. And it is perfect for little things like this, little tasks like this one. It works very well, and it actually worked pretty well for this. I like it because it's rechargeable, and I think it needs a little charge now. But it has just a regular little USB cable, and you can plug it in and charge it. And it has held its charge for a few weeks now. She gave it to me at Christmas, and it's still holding the charge. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of orange juice to this, because I did taste it, and it does not taste orange enough. So I'm going to add a little bit of orange juice, and then we can get it poured over our cake. My glaze is a little bit thin for my liking, but it tastes delicious. So I'm going to leave it on this cake, and I'm going to pour it on the other cake, and I will see how it turns out on the other cake, this heart-shaped cake. And because this is a little bit warmer, and let's see if it will soak into the cake. I think that's what will probably happen, and that'll be okay with me, because then that will make the cake moist through and through. Now let's get a piece cut. And you see how I mean that the slice does not come out to be a full slice. Now I'm cutting the tip off this cake, and it doesn't give me a full slice of cake like we're used to with pound cakes. But we're going to eat this cake, and it smells delicious. So the cake is done, and you saw that I had to make a small loaf cake, because that particular cake pan only takes 10 cups, maybe 8 cups, I think, of batter. So I had to make sure that I didn't have a cake that was going to overflow in my stove. You know, we don't want to clean no cake out of an oven. So I went ahead and split the batter. I put just enough in the heart-shaped cake pan to make it work, and then I put the rest into a loaf pan. So we're going to try a piece today of the heart-shaped. I put a little bit more of the glaze on it. You saw how I made the glaze. That was kind of off the cuff, so I'll try to get those ingredients out of my head onto paper and get it down in the description box. But we're going to try this. It smells delicious. It tastes good too. There's a good crust around the side, and then that inside, you see my taste tester is busy, so that's why she couldn't taste test, and the other little one doesn't feel well. So somebody's got to taste test it, and it was me. So this actually is very good. I'm gonna take another bite. That outer crust is chewy, and the inside crumb is nice and soft, and then that cranberry adds a punch, and the orange and cranberry glaze on the outside, that does something for it too. So it all comes together well, and I hope you give this recipe a try. Y'all be blessed. Bye. Thank y'all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you give this recipe a try, and I hope you have a fabulous Valentine's Day. Make sure your family know you love them. Y'all be blessed. Bye.